Good day everyone, here I am again, Sir June, and today I will be discussing inquiry-based learning model, or we usually call 5 E's or 7 E's. And I will show you sample lesson plan and I will integrate the different indicators of the RPMS-COT. But before that, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and do not forget to share po this video. Preparing daily lesson is part of the teacher's core function as a facilitator of learning inside the classroom, and lesson plan is a teacher's roadmap for a lesson. It contains the description of the steps a teachers will take to teach a particular topic. Sabi nila, it is better to have an excellent delivery of lesson than having an excellent lesson plan. Sounds good, but it is still better if you can write an excellent lesson plan and deliver it excellently. Di ba nga? If you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. Therefore, writing and executing an excellent lesson plan are essential. Lesson planning is important because it increases teachers' chances of carrying a lesson or teaching successfully. It allows teachers to be more confident before starting a lesson. It inculcates reflective practice as it allows teachers to think about their teaching. It gives opportunities for teachers to reflect on different strategies that work inside the classroom, including research-based strategies. It ensures that teachers truly facilitate learning and respond to learners' needs inside the classroom. And finally, it helps teachers master learning area content and helps them teach what students need to learn. Lesson plan has three major parts: before, during, and after the lesson. Warm up, like drill and review, are activities before the lesson proper. These activities encourage learners to use what they have been taught in previous lessons. The new lesson is introduced to students and relates the objectives to their lives. Lesson presentation, practice, and evaluation are three major parts of during the lesson part. During the presentation, new information is introduced. It also checks students' comprehension of the new material. The teacher models the tasks that the learners will do in the practice stage. The practice part provides opportunities for the students to practice and apply the new knowledge, new language, and new information. While in the evaluation part, the teacher assesses learners if how well they have grasped the lesson. And after the lesson, it is now time for the class to wrap up, summarize, or the teacher may provide reinforcement activity. There are a lot of models of lesson plans, and some of those models are experiential learning, or the 4 A's, inquiry-based learning, the 7 E's or 5 E's, problem-based learning, and explicit teaching. But today, I will be discussing only the inquiry-based learning model using 7 E's. Inquiry-based learning model has the following parts. We have the learning competency, the content, the learning resources, the procedure, the reflection, and the remarks. The procedure is divided into three parts. We have the before the lesson, during the lesson, and after the lesson. Illicit is included in the before the lesson. During the lesson, we have the engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate, and extend is under after the lesson. I will discuss these parts using a sample lesson plan. I will also integrate the different indicators of the RPMS-COT. Let us first review the different RPMS-COT indicators. For school year 2020 to 2021, additional 12 indicators from the PPST will be used. From the 12 indicators, 7 of them are classroom observable. Lesson plan is one of the supporting MOVs of the 4 observables, which are highlighted in the screen. Remember that your rating under quality will depend on how you deliver your lesson showing the different indicators. Thus, you should plan your lesson very well and execute excellently according to the different indicators. Let us now discuss the sample lesson plan for inquiry-based learning model. As what I have said, I will integrate the 7 classroom observables in my discussion. As usual, our lesson plan should have learning competency, content, learning resources, and the procedure. Our learning competency is good for 2 days, thus I made subtasking here. As a result, our learning competency for today is find the area of composite figures formed by triangle, rectangle, and square. The first E in inquiry-based learning model is illicit. During the illicit part, your tasks as a teacher is to find what the students know or their prior knowledge. This can be done in a variety of ways such as quick quizzes, post-it notes, mini whiteboards, and many others. This is also a good opportunity to deal with students' misconceptions that is needed to understand the lesson. That is why we conduct drill and review. The activity, drill on basic operations using flashcards, can be used as support to indicator 5 that says the teacher provides learning opportunities which are associated with the learning goals, engages learners to participate, cooperate, and collaborate in continued learning. Your rating on this particular indicator under quality depends on how you deliver it and how your observer sees it. If I will be writing a lesson plan for rated observation using RPMS-COT, I will be doing color coding. Look at the slide. I will be doing this so that I will know which part of my lesson plan shows the different indicators. Or this. This would be my way of articulating the different indicators. Warning, this is not prescribed by DepEd. This is just my way of doing a lesson plan for rated observation. The next activity is review on finding the area of triangle, rectangle, and square. This is their previous lesson when they were in grade 5. Thus, it can be used as support to indicator 1 that says apply knowledge of content within and across curriculum teaching areas. In this case, it is applying knowledge within the learning area. Review will be conducted through a game. But before doing the game, the teacher, together with the students, will establish the rules. This activity supports indicator 4 that says the teacher implements safety policies, guidelines, and procedures to establish a safe and secure learning environment, and learners follow such rules. As what I have said, your rating under quality depends on how you deliver or execute your lesson and how the observer sees it using the rubric. Lesson plan is not used as MOB or supporting MOB for indicator 4, but it would be better if you include this in your plan. Doing the activity like passing the ball while the music plays, then picking a question after the music stops by a certain student who holds the ball can be used as support to indicator 5. Doing a game with tasks to perform is learning opportunity. While commending or praising those who got the correct answer and guiding struggling students to arrive at the correct answer can be used to support indicator 7 that says the teacher provides feedback that results in opportunities for learners to improve their learning. Saying very good is not enough. You must tell the students why they are very good or what should they improve. Again, lesson plan is not used as supporting MOB for indicator 7. You have to show it during the actual class observation to obtain a higher rating under quality. Let us now proceed with the lesson proper. It starts with the engage part, but it could be coupled with explain. In the engage part, students' interest and curiosity are raised by giving the big question and or introduce new learning through teacher explanation modeling. In our sample lesson, the teacher starts asking how the students understand composite figure. Then the teacher will show the meaning of composite figure taken from the internet. The teacher also shows the source of the information. This supports indicator 2 that says ensure the positive use of ICT to facilitate the teaching and learning process. This indicator requires the teacher to acknowledge the sources or the source of his or her information, especially from the internet. This part of the sample lesson plan integrates the livelihood activity of the people in the community, which is farming. This supports indicator 6 that says the teacher employs strategies which are appropriate to address learners' linguistic and or cultural and or socioeconomic and or religious backgrounds. But make sure that farming is really the source of livelihood in the locality where you are teaching. In this part of the lesson, the teacher will explain how to get the area of composite figure. He will utilize mother tongue if it is needed. This supports indicator 3. Remember that it is not only the use of mother tongue that you will be rated on, but also in the use of English. You must be proficient in those languages. Indicator 3 has no supporting MOV. What you need is the class observation tool, but you have to include it still in your lesson plan to ensure that it will be executed during the observation or the actual observation para hindi mo makalimutan. The next part of the 7 is explore. It provides the students opportunities to work together following the initial teacher input to solve or explore the problem and building concepts through first-hand experience. As the teacher, you should set up the tasks but then become the facilitator, helping students by asking questions and observing. You provide scaffolding in this stage. In our sample, students are grouped into 5. This activity supports indicator 5 because group activity is a learning opportunity where students engage to participate, cooperate, and collaborate in continued learning in a small group. Again, lesson plan is not a supporting MOV for indicator 4, but it's still necessary that you have your plan for indicator 4 so that when the actual observation comes, you will not forget it, and of course, the result will be higher rating under quality. Make sure that it is consistent. In this part of the lesson, indicator 3 and indicator 4 are shown again to obtain higher rating under quality. In order to get higher rating, you have to consistently implement or show the indicators. Indicator 3 is all about proficient use of mother tongue, Filipino, or English to facilitate teaching and learning, while indicator 4 is all about establishing safe and secure learning environment. Both indicator 3 and 4 do not need supporting in MOV. This part of the lesson plan reminds you to provide feedback to your students. This feedback could be commendation or correcting outputs that have discrepancies so that other students may check themselves also. You will be doing this often or consistently to get high rating under quality since indicator 7 has no supporting MOV. After the students have explored through small groups, it's time for you as teacher to explain and elaborate. In explaining, use what students had discovered during exploration to help them build the concept or the knowledge further. This would involve checking and asking questions. In our example, we are using the process in analyzing word problem developed by George Polya. This can also be used to support indicator 5 because it is a way of providing learning opportunity for the students to participate, cooperate, and collaborate in continued learning. As part of checking students' understanding of the lesson, the teacher will ask generalization question. The teacher will use the language strategy, particularly the metacognition. All students will write respective answer on the respective journal. Thus, this is supportive to indicator 5 where it provides learning opportunity for the students. Students can exchange journal with their setmates to collaborate. The next part of 7 is lesson plan is elaborate. In elaborate, you assess students' progress, knowledge, and understanding. During elaborate, students may work independently to demonstrate learning. This is where students formalize and apply their learning. At this stage, the scaffolds are removed. Students would be involved in independent practice. The activity supports indicator 5. It is a learning opportunity for the students in small groups, while the attachment of the source of material where it was taken supports indicator 2, which is positive use of ICT. Remember that positive use of ICT is acknowledging the source of your information, especially if it is taken from the internet. After the students have computed the area of the front side of the garage, the teacher will share to the students his knowledge about paint and why paint should be kept properly or how to avoid the hazard that paint could bring. This is in support to indicator 1. Hazards of paint and safety measures in using flammable materials are topics under science subject. Thus, this is applying knowledge across learning area. The sixth E in inquiry-based learning model or 7 is evaluate. While it is expected that evaluation will continue throughout the process, the evaluate section is where you evaluate the learning that has occurred. This might involve peer or self-assessment or marking. It might involve questioning or quick low-stage quizzing to establish understanding of the concept. This should also include self-reflection and evaluation from the students. In our sample, the student used activity sheet. The activity sheet is downloaded from a certain site. It was properly cited. This supports indicator 2, which is positive use of ICT. The last E in inquiry-based learning model is extend. In this stage, you are encouraging the students to apply or extend the concepts and skills in new situations. Students make connections not just in the subject or ideas studied, but also beyond it. They are able to apply ideas or generalize and transfer principles. In our sample, the teacher asked the students to look for any composite figure in their respective houses and determine how much space it occupies. This activity also supports indicator 5. And the last part of the lesson plan using inquiry-based learning model are reflection and remarks. Reflection answers the questions: what part of the lesson went well? What part of the lesson is weak? Share the thoughts and feelings about the lesson, including things about the lesson that were successfully implemented, need improvement, and could be adjusted in the future, and who are the learners who did well and need help. While under remarks, you must document specific instances that result in continuation of lesson to the following day in case of reteaching and insufficient time, etc., or transfer of lessons to the following day as the result of class suspension, etc. So that's it. That is the inquiry-based learning model, or the 7 E's. I hope that it gave you a clear understanding on how to use the model as well as the different indicators of the RPMS-COT. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have already subscribed to my channel to get updated of my incoming videos.